This is Port-au-Prince, Haiti, where a brutal gang war is raging. More than 20,000 have been killed, and tens of thousands of people have fled their homes. Fueled by years of political instability, corruption, and poverty, the violence is getting worse, and the armed groups are running riot. Police and politicians have lost control of almost all of the city. Firearms are fueling the crisis, with over 500,000 weapons in the hands of rival gangs. But where are these guns coming from? Why is Haiti in such chaos? And who are the secretive private military contractors now operating in the country? Gangs have been prominent in Haiti for years, but recently their power has surged, allowing them to tighten their grip on the capital and expand their influence across the nation.
The gangs essentially form a parallel state in Haiti, or in fact, the state. In many areas, they're the ones who are in charge.
These are groups that are historically marginalized people, many of them instrumentalized for years by corrupt people in the elites of Haiti.
Gangs have been gaining autonomy from the elites for some years because they kept multiplying and diversifying their criminal portfolio.
Now, the gangs have got so much money from kidnap and extortion and drug sales that they're kind of free of their backers, and now they're acting independently.
The situation spiraled out of control in July 2021 when President Jovenel Moïse was assassinated. Since then, Haiti has had 5 acting prime ministers, none of whom were elected.
Haiti's in the middle of a polycrisis, and that means it's being attacked by many different issues on many different fronts.
There is a security situation that is completely out of hand for Haiti's government, which has been lacking a legitimate government since the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse.
And today, no figure is emerging. So the population is having this crisis of trust with regard to these people who, over the years, contributed to the situation we are here right now.
And then, in the spring of 2024, an unprecedented development took place. Rival gangs, which had been fighting each other for years, came together and formed a coalition led by Jimmy Cherige, also known as Barbecue.
They have common interests. For instance, the state is their enemies, and they also understand if they become a political force, they can outright shape the government of Haiti.
Even if some of the leaders still kind of hate each other, they are collaborating, mounting simultaneous attacks, and collaborating with each other to bring the Haitian state to its knees.
La profiter de occasion ça pour nous dire communauté internationale là bay Haïti une chance parce que ça qui passe dans pays là c'est nous-mêmes haïtiens pour qui décider qui moun qui va prendre tête pays et qui mode de gouvernement nous voulons et comment nous va le faire pour nous retirer pays dans misère qu'il y a là.
Demanding the resignation of the then Prime Minister, the coalition launched large-scale attacks on key state infrastructure, including 2 prisons. Thousands of inmates escaped.
The gang leaders often try and portray this idea that they're a kind of Robin Hood figure, that they have taken over from the corrupt government and that they're the real protectors of the people. They give out money to the poor. But from our interviews in Port-au-Prince, what we found out is that if you live in a gang area, you are entirely at their mercy. As much as the gangs like to portray themselves as being these protectors of the neighborhood, they are the ones who are committing the crimes. The gangs are really well armed. They have assault weapons, they have ammunition, and a lot of that comes from the US.
Most of the arms and ammunition are smuggled from Florida and arrive in Haiti by ship or plane. A separate stream of weapons is sent indirectly via other countries, including the Dominican Republic. Some of the weapons subsequently get re-exported to different nations in the region.
Many of the guns being imported from the US are high-caliber weapons. When you have young people armed to the teeth with high-caliber weapons that are usually being used in war contexts, it is easy to understand how the situation can get out of control.
US officials have addressed the smuggling issues in public.
They know that this is one of the main issues to address to be able to lower the violence in Haiti, but there hasn't been many initiatives or concrete action that has been taken to significantly diminish and curb these illegal flows of weapons that are coming to Haiti.
People here in Haiti who are prone to conspiracy theory thinks that it is being done on purpose.
Pour garder pouvoir comme maman petite, papa petite a couru. Nous tout près américain là. Si américain pas dans complot, il a font débarquement là pour te sauver nous.
I'm not seeing any evidence of this, but the fact remains the vast majority of guns being used today in Haiti to displace hundreds of thousands of people, to kill population, to rape women, to close businesses coming from the United States. The real victim of gang violence in Haiti is the population, the civilians, those in the impoverished neighborhoods where these people are willing.
In the last 5 years, reportedly, then around 20,000 people have been killed in the gang violence. And that number over the last year has been increasing.
Over 1.3 million people have been displaced. So it is almost 1 in every 10 persons in Haiti that is currently displaced. They have had to go to displacement camps that have been multiplying both in the capital and in other regions of the country.
More than half of Haiti today is waiting for some sort of humanitarian assistance. It is also on proportions that we've not seen in decades.
Contributing to the dire situation Haiti is in is the country's vulnerability to natural disasters. In 2010, Port-au-Prince was struck by a devastating earthquake. At least 100,000 people were killed and over 1.3 million people became homeless.
And in the aftermath, there was a huge cholera outbreak. And that was caused by contaminated wastewater coming from the bases of the UN peacekeepers. So that caused a huge amount of anger, which already existed towards the idea of foreign intervention in Haiti.
But with a gang war spiralling out of control, help was desperately needed. Then in 2023, Haiti was offered support from a surprising player, Kenya. The country led the creation of the Multinational Security Support Mission, or MSS. Kenya sent hundreds of police officers to Haiti in June 2024 with the aim to help the Haitian National Police combat gang violence and restore order.
I know you're going to succeed. This is an assignment that we are undertaking as a country because we are a responsible member of the international community.
But a year later, the mission is facing criticism for the lack of its effect.
They saw this as a last resort option to be able to have more assistance for the Haitian National Police to be able to regain the upper hand against the gangs. But what they have seen is that there is this mission that has been on the ground for over a year and that has been able to change the situation because there are not enough funds that have been given to the mission, and the mission has not been given the chance to prove if it could be effective or not.
Several countries have urged the UN to transition the mission into an official peacekeeping operation.
Haiti does not have the monetary capacity to fund it. The United States, which is giving much of the money now, is quite reluctant. Transforming it into a UN peacekeeping mission would solve this first problem.
But with no plans for a full-scale UN military intervention, the Haitian government is turning to private military forces.
A controversial figure is stepping into Haiti's deepening crisis. Eric Prince, founder of the private military company Blackwater, has, the New York Times reports, signed a contract to take on the gangs that have overrun much of the capital.
We had reports which we were able to verify that foreign mercenaries, including a company owned by Eric Prince, who used to run Blackwater, are operating in the country. And they're working with the police to try and keep control over the areas which are run by the government, but also to launch drone strikes into gang territory.
The gangs lives amongst the population in many of these places, and the population lives amongst the gangs out of despair because they don't have alternatives. We, with the Washington Post, were able to prove that it's not just gang members that are being killed by these drones. It's also civilians, including women and girls. What does that make the state? And what are the accountability processes for such an action?
If we think that just by killing some of the gang leaders we will be able to dismantle completely the structure, we are completely wrong. Gang leaders are replaced in a matter of hours.
Over the last year and a half, the situation has got much worse. For most Haitians, there's very little hope that this is going to change.
Without completely severing the links between politicians and business leaders with the gangs, the gang problem will not be solved.